I want to have a short dialogue about July 4th. We've really gotten away from our little discussions that we have before activities, but we want to really be clear that Victory in Life is not just about singing and dancing and smiling, but it's about expressing ideas, about learning. Hopefully, when you go away from here, you'll learn something that maybe you didn't know before. That's all. The things that I like to discuss and the topics I like to discuss are things that you might not hear in mainstream society. You might not hear them talk about it at your school. You might not even hear them talk about it in your home with your families. But so I'm trying to bring some new ideas and new thoughts to you. The second thing I want to say is that I'm not trying to make you think different than you already think. I'm just trying to give you some ideas and maybe some different things just to consider. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. After I do that, I'm going to read a letter from a young man. His sister was supposed to be here today. She can't. Her son is currently 20. How old is diabetes? 29 years old. He is in prison. He just got locked up. He's looking at maybe some serious time. And I've been writing back and forth to him to try to support him while he's in jail, giving words of encouragement and so forth. He's made some mistakes. He's done some things. You know, some of our brothers are in jail and they shouldn't be there. Some are in jail and they did what they're there for. Right? He did what he's there for. So he's made some mistakes. He wants to turn his life around. He wants to become more involved. He wants to come involved in Victory in Life when he does get out. But he asked me, he said in one of his letters, what can I do? I said, well, you can write a letter to the kids. You know, just so that they can hear what you're going through and some of the mistakes you made. Hopefully he can say something to you that you will make the same mistake that he made. So those are the two things I'm going to do real quick, and then we're going to go and we're going to have some fun. And then when we're all done and said, we have perfect, here she comes, just bear with us, she's not coming, make it through the door. Perfect entrance. I was just, Sister Deborah, I was look, I'm going to tell y'all why y'all going to do better than that. Because when she initially came in here, she had that plate of chicken, and I'm watching, because I watch everything. She had that plate of chicken because our group isn't usually this big. Like I said, we're growing. So she came in with the chicken. What I've noticed is that because she saw the group was bigger, and there wasn't enough chicken for everybody, she went out and got some pieces. So let's give her a real... You know how black folks is with food and then free food? Okay, July 4th. Let me just ask real quick, and I did the same presentation last year, so some of y'all here, y'all might remember, hopefully y'all do it if y'all don't. And I'm doing it because it is July 4th just passed, and we just celebrated. And just want to go around quick and ask maybe 3 people what July 4th is to them. Anybody want to volunteer? What's July 4th to you?
July 4th, what July 4th means to me is a time when you get to run and see great fireworks and great fireworks.
Okay, good. That's very good. Anybody else? Brother Mario.
Yeah, brother.
What's July 4th to you?
I think July 4th is a time where all the families get together, you know what I'm saying, have a good feast. Like you were saying, fun, you know, pop fireworks.
Okay, Monica. Okay. Yeah, I know you got to do your thing.
I gotta go. It's my grandbaby's birthday, and grandmother's not there.
Hey, listen, try to call her and I'll call you later. Okay.
I'm sure you
And see if she wants to come next week so we can make that happen. What's July 4th to you?
Celebrating Independence Day and making Japan.
Okay. Now let's Diamond. Come on, get a second. Come on. They tell us that July 4th is a holiday. So let's first break down what a holiday is. So if I can get you to read this definition right here of holiday and speak up and express yourself so everybody can hear you. Now I want you to listen to what a definition of a holiday is.
A holiday is a day
Designated.
designated as having special
Significance.
significance.
Now stop. A holiday is a day designated as having special significance, underlined special significance. So when I asked y'all what 4th of July meant to you, I heard everyone say a time for people to get together and celebrate and, what they say, feast and get together and have a good time and the great outdoors and fireworks. But I didn't hear anybody say what the significance of the day was, because everything that y'all said, we can do on any day. Any day and every day we can do that. We can get together. We don't have to have a reason. But what's the reason that we get together on this specific day to do those things? Go ahead.
For which individuals, governments, or religions groups have deemed that abusive observance is warranted. It is generally and obviously.
Okay, hold on. It is generally an official observance
of religious, national, or cultural significance, often accompanied by celebration or festivals, a day set aside for commemoration, celebration, or other observance questions.
Give her a hand. All right. So what we're saying here is that a holiday is a special day that has significance. It is generally an observance observed that's a religious, national, or cultural significance. Now, the 4th of July, which do you think that is? Is it religious? Cultural. It's cultural. Okay, good answer. Now, I'm going to throw another question out to you. Whose culture is it? Anybody got a different answer?
A different one.
Okay, what were you going to say? Diamond? Yeah, what were you going to say? Whose culture is it? When we celebrate the 4th of July, it is a cultural holiday, but whose culture is it? There's different. Chinese culture, there's European culture. That's absolutely right. Hold on a second, y'all. Sister Deborah's absolutely right. It's European culture. And there's nothing wrong with observing, like I went and I celebrated on several occasions Chinese New Year. I went to Chinatown. I'm from New York. I went to Chinatown. It's nice. It's a nice event. They have the dragons and the fireworks and the whole thing. I'm not Chinese, but I still went and I celebrated Chinese New Year. So that's cool to do. Now, exactly what is the 4th of July a celebration of? What do we celebrate? We know it's a European celebration, but what is the celebration for? Independence. Huh? I can't hear. Okay, can everyone hear that? Could you hear that over here? The 4th of July is a celebration of the independence of a European people from the British. Right? They came from Europe, they came from England, they came to America, but when they got here, England was, y'all remember history class, right? England was still trying to run them from all the way overseas. They didn't want to be governed by England. They wanted to set up their own government. So what did they do? What did the Europeans do? Huh? They what? They went to war. They won. And in 1776, they got their independence. And what we're celebrating when we celebrate the 4th of July is the celebration of their independence in 1776. Now, let's talk about black folks. What was black folks' condition in America in 1776? Huh? Slaves. We were slaves. So, when they got their independence, did we become independent? No. Just something to think about. So, again, what do we celebrate? Actually, if they got their independence in 1776, when did we get our so-called independence from slavery? What year?
1996.
What you heard what she said? 18. Look, Linda just getting involved. Thank you so much. Hold on, bring it down, y'all, bring it down. We got our independence from a so-called independence from slavery, because we still ain't free. We got our independence from slavery in 1865. Now who can do the math between 1776 and 1865? How long is that?
Long.
About 100, what is it? 134 years, right. In 1851, I didn't bring this speech with me. I wanted to read just a few things from the speech, but I didn't have time to make copies of it. But in 1851, who here knows who Frederick Douglass is? Y'all heard of Frederick Douglass? Okay. In 1851, they asked Frederick Douglass on July 4th to give a speech at a July 4th celebration ceremony in Rochester, New York. And at first he contemplated, he was like, just give me no speech. But then he thought about it, he said, you know what, this is a good opportunity for me to get some points across. And he gave the speech. It's called Frederick Douglass July 5th or July 4th speech. If you got a computer, go on the internet, Google Frederick Douglass July 4th, look up the speech, and a lot of things that he said was really deep, because what he was saying was that, how could you ask me to give a speech about freedom when it's 1851 and my people still not free? You see? Now I know that was 100 years ago, today is 2012, but we still have a long way to go before black folks in this country are really equal. You know? So I'm just putting out to you all that we need to think about what we're celebrating, because these things have importance and significance. You know, they're not just another day. The celebration, these different holidays, different things, are not just another day. They have meaning on our psyche and how we operate and how we act. So it's just something for you all to think about. Next July 4th. You know, for me, July 4th is a day of mourning. Because when I think about July 4th, I think about, there's not even a number that you can put on the Africans that were murdered and killed during the Middle Passage and during slavery. It's up in the billions, probably. You know? So again, just something for you to think about. We're going to move on. Any questions about that, July 4th? Okay. I want to read that to you all real quick. And then we'll go on in. Stacy, we'll go on in. Good. They got